and welcome back. I'm Jadopico, the prop maker, and welcome back to another video. Now, today it's another lightsaber video. Yes, I know I've been doing a lot of these lately, and I just figured I should make at least one more. I may do other lightsaber videos in the future, but this is going to be the last lightsaber video for a while, because I wanted to do, now that I've actually got some lightsabers, I'd like to do a revised version of my Lightsaber Combat style videos, but this is going to be all in one video. So now there are several reasons for this. One is because now that I'm actually holding a lightsaber in my hand, it feels much different to the PVC pipe I was using in my previous video. It's a lot heavier, there's a lot more weight to it. It's more or less the same, but the balance is different. So I'd like to talk about that a little. Also, I didn't really have a good analog for a lot of the things I was trying. So here, this is going to be a better version of those videos. If you still want to see those videos, I'm leaving them up on the channel. They're not going anywhere. So you can see what I was trying to do, and you can look back to this video for what I was actually meant to do. So yeah, stay tuned. Okay, so we're outside for this next bit. I wasn't going to dare swing some lightsabers around indoors because that's always a recipe for disaster. Please note that if you've watched my previous videos on the Aegis Saber's Defender, which is the kind of lightsaber this is, you'll know that they don't really do so well during the daytime. Look. Yeah, the blade is red at the moment, but you can't really see that too well in daylight, especially in direct sunlight, which is why we're filming this in shade. But I'll do my best. So, the first thing I covered in my lightsaber fighting styles video is using a single lightsaber in a style that would benefit you. That information was based on Shadiversity and his recommended way of fighting with a lightsaber, and upon closer analysis I found that the style he suggested was very similar to the style of fencing that was taught by Thibaut, or Thibaut style, for those of you who are familiar with it, which involves a very upright stance, legs in an L shape, and the weapon pointing directly at your enemy as a sort of a guard position, with various alterations, but you get the point. So, for this, it's very similar to Count Dooku's fighting style, which is Makashi, or Style 2. But, yeah, so that for a basic stance. A lot of circular motion. And then, if you want to get fancy, you can throw in the plausible spin. Or you can even turn the spin into a thrust. Now, for those of you saying, James, spinning is not a plausible technique in combat, well, it can be. As Shadiversity said in his fight analysis videos, there is a certain kind of spin that can be plausible in combat, and this is the difference between them. Okay, now a lot of the times you see spins in the Star Wars series, there are some plausible and there are some implausible. This, just for the record, this is a plausible spin. You see, I spin the weapon around to guard my back so that I don't get stabbed in the back. and then when I come out of the spin, I turn that into either an attack or a block. An implausible spin would be something like, you see, if I do that, my back is exposed to the enemy. Or even like this, because you leave your back exposed. That's why this is a plausible spin, because you keep your back covered. Another hotly debated topic in the swordplay and lightsaber community is the reverse grip. I don't know where it started in pop culture. I don't know which Jedi first used the reverse grip lightsaber. I don't know where it originated in swordplay, full stop, but generally the general consensus is that the reverse grip is stupid unless you're stabbing downwards into an opponent. But I don't think that's necessarily true. Yes, in combat it's stupid because you reduce your reach, you have less leverage, it's generally not a good idea. But a good way to use it, I find, is when deflecting blaster bolts. Because, especially if you're using a lightsaber like this, where you need to press the button to activate the blaster deflection sounds. Like, now that's okay, it's in keeping with the original trilogy, but what happens if you get some machine gun blaster guy coming in and rapid shotting you? That's not going to do good. I mean, you can move it very fast, but I find that using it reverse grip, you can protect your feet better, you can protect your chest better. I mean, watch. So that's where I would recommend using the reverse grip. Not for combat, not as a defensive stance, but for deflecting blaster bolts. That's the only application I would recommend use of a lightsaber in the reverse grip. So, sorry Ahsoka and Starkiller, if people still remember who he is. But I'm afraid, in terms of combat prowess, your styles are not that great. I would highly recommend you switch up for standard grip. Now, as far as throwing is concerned, I'm not going to throw this because, you know, I know they're supposed to be combat grade and very durable, but I don't want to take that chance, and I'm not going to just hurl my lightsaber at something, because I know that just because they're durable, that doesn't mean they're indestructible. So I'm not going to throw this. If you decide to throw a lightsaber of your own, go ahead. I don't take any responsibility for your irresponsibility. And by the way, sorry for all of this background noise. There's the timber yard working today. You mind? We're trying to film a video here. Now, another hotly debated topic about practicality or lack thereof is dual wielding. Now, there are several Jedi that I know of in the Star Wars universe. I'm not going to say canon or legends because there's a lot of fact there, but I'm just going to say Star Wars in general. So, there are several Jedi that I know of that dual wield. I'm talking about standard lightsabers here. That would be Asajj Ventress, Seraheto, and Ahsoka Tano. Now their styles are very acrobatic, but in terms of practicality, to make the dual-wielding lightsaber practical, I would recommend Florentine-esque fighting style. What do I mean by that? Well, fairly basic. Take up a stance like so, with both lightsabers outwards in a guard position, and one lightsaber is used for attack, the other for defense. And you can switch them around if you like. So you can attack, 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 block, attack, block, attack, 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 block, attack. So you can switch it around if you like. Many people don't like that because they find that keeping one weapon back for defense while the other is doing all the hard work is rather tedious. But that's why I recommend you switch it around. You attack with one, defend with one, and so basically you keep switching up which side you're attacking with. That way it doesn't make you feel lopsided, it doesn't make you feel like you're favoring one arm, it doesn't make you too predictable. So feel free to experiment with feel free to experiment with that how you will. Nailed it. So another thing you could do is you could have one reverse grip for if you're going up against guys with blasters, and one standard grip. You don't have to do it exactly like I'm doing. You can switch it up and you can do it either side. This is completely foolhardy. Two lightsabers in reverse grip. Okay, if you're going up against an army of blaster wielders, I can probably understand why you would do that, but I prefer to keep it half and half. That way you can block blaster bolts, fend off lightsaber, block blaster bolts. Yeah, you get the picture. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, saber staffs. Many people have debated whether or not these are practical or not, and they do have a point, because if you're not careful, you can sever your own limb. That's why you've got to be extra careful when using a saber staff, and only do so if you're trained to do so. So, one standard guard that you can do with these is like this, just like a pole axe, and you can hack, stab, hack, stab, stab, hack, 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 hack. And then you've got your more daring stuff, like that. And if done correctly, this can intimidate your opponent and catch him off guard, because he won't be expecting so many quick successive slashes. And then you've got stuff you can do to defend from all around blaster fire, like the windmill. Only do that if you're well practiced. So yeah, that was the last lightsaber video for a while at least. I'm not saying I'm not going to do any more lightsaber videos, I'm just saying they're not going to be as common as they have been. Because with the exception of the Look Inside the Value Co, I've been nothing but the lightsaber channel for quite a while now, for a few months. And in my haste to record the clips for this video, I failed to record an outro. So this is me doing it about several weeks later than those videos were recorded. You can see my hair's gotten a bit longer and I'm looking a bit unshaven. Please excuse that. But yeah, so this is me saying, if you like the video, then give it a like and share it with somebody who you think will appreciate it. And thank you for watching, and goodbye.